Hello. I'm returning a call from
Yes,
this number.
Doc. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Okay. Is it a good time to talk then?
Yes, I have a few minutes.
Okay. All right. Great. So, in respect of what happened yesterday, the removal of the Gandhi statue, we know that you're one of the leaders of the campaign. What we'd like to know is that how do you feel after the decision that has been made and the actions taken by the foreign ministry to remove the statue, and going forward, what is a message about Gandhi and racism that you intend to drum home?
Right. So, there are several issues. The main one, as I've mentioned elsewhere, deal with black self-respect and black dignity. And these are major issues because it's very difficult for us to say we don't like our people being shot down in the streets in the U.S., being beaten to death in broad daylight in India, and, all of the things we can go, on and on about some of these issues. But it would be very difficult for us to say that we have a problem with that if we don't show respect for ourselves in terms of honoring our own heroes and our own leaders. And rather than doing so, having a statue that honors someone who says that we as black people are 1 degree removed from an animal. You understand? So,
Mm.
one of the enduring things is the triumph of truth over lies. So the whole idea of Gandhi, the whole facade is really a mask of divinity. Lots of propaganda that have gone into this. When you actually read what he wrote, and then if you look at his actions as a sergeant major, there's a good book by Ashwin and Desai in South Africa. Both of them are of Indian descent, where they go into Gandhi, the stretcher bearer of empire, where he agitated in order to get guns. He actually wanted guns to be able to shoot down the Zulu people. He
Mm.
wasn't given the guns, so he decided to become one of these nursing technicians to assist the British who were going off and killing thousands and thousands of Zulus. That's one. Another thing is his role in the segregation of the Durban post office and telegraph offices, where, initially they had an interest for the British and then everyone else. He basically introduced like this multi-layered caste system like you found in India into South Africa because he successfully petitioned for a separate entrance so that they don't have to undergo the indignity of having to walk through the same door as African Kafirs, who again he are 1 degree removed from an animal. So picture a circle, 360 degrees on a circle. He says 1 degree removed from an animal. Like, can you even, is that even perceptible in terms of a difference? So, these are some of the issues, but again,
So that from what you're saying, that there's a plethora of incidents and history that suggests that Gandhi isn't that honorable person whose statue should be put up in a university space where people need to look up to icons, global figures that they may aspire to become. Is that really the sort of summary for which you're embarking on, or you embarked on this campaign then?
yeah. So initially, the campaign started. I was driving down, the road, and I saw this statue there, and I said, people must not know who Gandhi is. So I sent a photo just from my camera, along with about 70 or so of his most racist quotes to the entire listserv. That's all the staff and all the students. And the reaction was that people said we had no idea. Now, this isn't my imagination. I'm just giving them the quotes that he himself,
Okay.
wrote down. So if people have a perception of Gandhi and it's not based on what he wrote, what he said, what he did, then what in the world is it based on? You understand?
Okay.
If
So
you look
that suggests the propaganda that you talked about then.
exactly what we call improper Gandhi, improper propaganda about Gandhi, improper Gandhi.
Mm.
We've coined this term. But yes,
Mm,
this
that's
is this is the core of what we're dealing with. Then, if you look at his later life, how he fought tooth and nail against the black untouchables of India, the Dalits, where Dr.
mhm.
Ambedkar said that he was the worst enemy of the Dalits in his book, What Congress and Gandhi Have Done to the Untouchables. So he talks about how the Dalits had to do satyagraha and how Gandhi fought against them. How later on, when they were trying to get special seats and a double vote, how he said that he would fast unto the death in order to prevent the Dalits from getting their desires. And they've been set back for decades because of Gandhi, this single man's actions. So what we really see is consistency throughout his entire lifetime against black people, whether it's the black people in South Africa or the black people in India. And again, all of this is documented. The collected works of Mahatma Gandhi are available online. You can read all 98
Mm.
volumes. They're available in PDF, or if you just want to know when he talks about black people, just do a search in those PDFs for the word kafir, because apparently he's dealing with us as though this is our
Okay.
actual name.
Okay. I mean, so this has been on for 2 years, and finally we can say that you have victory. Who does this victory belong to? Is it a victory for truth? Is it a victory for the university? Where would you say the victory really belongs?
I would say, first off, it's a tentative victory because we don't know where Gandhi's statue will next rear its ugly head. That's one. And then, in Malawi, we've been in contact with our colleagues there, and they're still fighting the government there who's trying to put up a statue. Because, this is the thing. Once people know better, they want to do better. So there's a saying here in Ghana
Mm,
where they say, if a liar takes 1,000 years to go on a journey, in a single day, one who tells the truth will catch up to him. So all of this
mm,
propaganda has been shattered just by reading what he wrote. So one is just tentative because we can't say, oh, we're finished, we're done when we know that all these indignities against black people still go on in India itself. And this is the real thing that I think is the most horrific, which is that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ghana had something to say about this statue, but they have nothing to say about the black people who are beaten to death in
mm,
broad daylight in India. Because, and I'm talking about continental Africans, some who come from Ghana, from Congo, from Nigeria, from all over, we haven't heard a single word from them about the black people who are beaten to death. Why? Because they're treated the exact same way as the indigenous Dalits, who are burned
mm.
alive every day, who are dismembered every day. All these pogroms and riots that go on in India against the indigenous black people there. So, it's hard to say it's a victory. I would say a luta continua that, these things go on until black people establish our own self respect in the world, and then we compel the rest of the world to respect us in due course.
Mm. I mean, that's profound. Finally, before I let you go, there are those who have also had concerns about the sort of diplomatic relations that may actually get bad between Ghana and India with respect to this very incident that has happened. And it's a bit of a very strong action by Ghana to take down uh, someone who Indians revere this much. What would be your take on this?
Yeah, I think it's a very good question. Now, if our diplomatic relations with India are predicated on accepting someone who said that we are animals, you understand, who
Hmm.
said that it was such an indignity for the Kafirs to be dumped down in the Indian side of town, I could go down a list. Like, I know many of them from memory. All of these
Okay.
things. Why should diplomatic relations be dependent on us being a footstool or a rug to be stepped on for someone else? This is a slap in the face if we're saying the only way that we can have diplomatic relations is on an unequal, uneven, and disrespectful basis. Now, there's a figure in Indian history called Colonel Reginald Dyer, and he was an
Hmm.
officer in the British Army who oversaw the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, where thousands of Indians were shot down and killed. Now, can you imagine if we as Ghanaians said, okay, we're all part of the Commonwealth that Colonel Dyer was part of, we're going to give you a statue of Colonel Dyer? How do you think India and
Mm.
Indian people would take that as someone who, and the only difference between Colonel Dyer and Sergeant Major Gandhi is that Colonel Dyer was granted the guns. Gandhi agitated day in and day out to get guns. They just didn't give them to him. So the only difference is just one of opportunity. You understand?
Mm.
So again, the point I'm driving at is that diplomatic relations should not be based on something that is fundamentally disrespectful and injurious to the dignity and self-respect of a people. If we are going to have diplomatic relations, it should be based on mutual respect, mutual trust, and values such as that, and based on truth. We can't have the lie of impropaganda, paraded out, and we have to go along with it before we can have diplomatic relations.
Mm. I mean, deep thoughts there. There's actually something for all of us to stew on. So, interview is done. I was just thinking while you were speaking, is it possible for us to do a very brief video piece on this, where I come to campus and engage with you on this subject? I'm going to throw that to London for them to consider it, so that the education then, as you mentioned, would be out there, because not many are aware of the other side of Gandhi. As you mentioned, there is maybe a brand propaganda then to put out a very positive image of him, but there are the other ones that people need to know. So if you don't mind, if you think it's prudent, we can come through to campus, talk about this, how the campaign started online, how it went on over a period of 2 years until finally it was removed. But looking at this as momentary, or let's say success that is ongoing, that's building. Malawi has to get this as well as South Africa, and then we can connect the African, should I say, campaign of sorts that's going in other places with you as a voice talking about what Africans need to know about the truth behind Gandhi.
Very good. And I'd also like to mention that there are several others. It's not a one-person thing. We had
Okay, okay.
2,000 signatures. Of course, you can't interview all 2,000, but some
Indeed,
of the
indeed, that's
key,
true. That's
right?
true.
But
That's
some of the
true.
key people. So I started the petition, but it wouldn't have gone anywhere without Professor Akosi Adamako Ampofo, because she was a
Okay.
full professor. She was up for the position of vice chancellor. You know,
Mm.
just to have some, and she was the immediate former director of the institute. Without the weight and gravitas that she brought to the situation, it would be very difficult to have gained at least the victory in this battle, even though the war
Yeah.
rages on. Dr. Kwajo Appiah out of
Okay. Okay.
now professor
So
as
it's a
of
host of
yesterday
lecturers
professor.
and senior people.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
Nana Appiah and Yudoho in the community, Manchi Aikwe. So all of us collaborated on this, and we even have some books and articles on this that have come out. So I would definitely be open to that, to the video,
Okay.
and I will inform my colleagues as well because they can speak to these issues just as well as I can.
Okay, great. So I'll get you feedback on that. I'll engage in my editors, and then once we fix a specific plan for it, I'll connect with you. Then you can identify which day is best. I should think the students are still writing exams, or they will be on vacation soon.
They'll be on vacation soon. Matter of fact, my last exam with them was today, and their very last exam will be tomorrow.
Okay. So it's still possible to get you even on vacation.
Yes, yes, I'm around. I'm
Okay,
here.
great. Okay, great. All right then. So, Doc, I'm gonna get back to you so we can move this forward then.
Okay, and your name again?
My name is Favor Nunu.
Favor Nunu. Okay, very
Yes.
good. You must be
Okay.
highly favored.
I pray so. Thank you very much for your
No
time, sir.
problem. Thank you, too.
Okay. Have a great day.